Hey guys, what's up? This is Lydia here from Build Yourself Inside. And I haven't brought you video in a long time. Whew. Anyway, I will be getting back into the Facebook Live business. I will be partnering with a couple other people. I'll be bringing in a few more experts in the future as far as topics regarding confidence and self-esteem and personal development and personal and professional improvement. So stay tuned. There'll be lots more coming at you very soon, and it's been a long time for me, I know, since I've gotten a camera to talk to you guys, but this is honestly probably one of the most fun things that I like to do, is to get on here and bring you all a little bit of insight every single week. So I look forward to bringing you guys a lot more about building self-confidence and self-esteem being my bread and butter. This is the place to tune into. So that being said, let's jump into today's topic. And it's something that I've been noticing a lot within my clients, and it's really made me kind of think about where I used to be and where I am now. And it's always something I ask my clients, and it's not to hear that the words that they use. Like, this is very important, and this is really how I can tell that there is a problem with self-esteem, or if somebody's really looking to someone else, or like the community or to society to decide who that person is, right? A lot of us tend to wonder what other people think of us, and like, say for instance, describe yourself. Like, give me 3 words that describe you. What are 3 words that describe you? What I find is a lot of clients will question. They'll put a question. They'll turn each description into a question, right? So let's take someone I had just recently. It was, how would you describe yourself? Give me three words to describe you. And it was like, well, cheerful, happy, like cool, like excited. It was like this kind of, they were presenting it in this way. And when I hear that, right, it's not about the words, but they're leaving it in that situation, in like a coaching session, the client is leaving it up to me to decide whether they are these things, which is one of the symptoms of low self-esteem, right? Is when we aren't solid and we haven't decided yet who we are, and we haven't stepped into that, right? And the thing is, and the biggest thing I notice is that we've all been there at some point. Like, there's been times that all of us have been confident. There's times that all of us have felt happy. There's times that all of us have felt sexy, right? There's times that all of us have felt sad, that have felt this, that have felt that. But we tend to question who we are when it comes to what other people think. And having used to be this person where I would be like, I think I'm cute, I think I'm pretty, I think I'm this, I think I'm that. Well, I was questioning it that whole time. Why? Because I was wondering if it was because if other people thought that. Well, does that person think so? Does that person think so? Does this guy think so? And what I had to realize in order to build that foundation of confidence, is what I had to start thinking from my perspective. I had to start taking power in what I thought, not worrying constantly about what the guy I was dating was thinking, or what this person at work is thinking, or what everybody at the gym is thinking about me, right? And this is what a lot of people tend to do. Especially the people who suffer with confidence issues spend more of their time in other people's heads than their own. They spend more time worrying about what other people think of them than what they think of themselves. And this is the exact type of person who's never going to lead a life of their own, where they're passionate about what they do, whether what their own fuel, their own fire is driving their outcomes in life. Because they're always going to be worried about, I wonder if it's making this person happy. I wonder what this person thinks. I wonder if they're going to be mad. It doesn't matter. This is what it comes down to. A lot of times, this is what I explain to clients, is like, well, by not doing the thing, are you making that person happy? By making that person wait, are you making them happy? And people will question that. They'll be like, well, no, yes, right? Our happiness is our own responsibilities, guys. Our happiness is our own responsibilities. And I have to constantly remind even my mom that that is the case, right? Our parents will always try and step in and try and take over and give us money and do this and tell us this. And I have to remind my mom that she's done, right? Our happiness is our own responsibility. And therefore, it is not your responsibility to keep another person from waiting. It is not your responsibility to feel stressed or to lower yourself because maybe they're impatient or they don't feel good about themselves. It is not your responsibility to suppress your own emotions because you're worried about someone else is going to think. It's not your responsibility. And when you start taking back your own power, realizing where you are not in control in life, you have no control over how someone else feels. Let me say that right now. You have no control over how someone else perceives you or how you make them feel. And that's where we get into a lot of trouble, where we try to control things where we can't. And that's where 100% of our frustration comes from. Is trying to control things, trying to control people, trying to control circumstances, trying to control our weight when we're obviously stuffing ourselves, right? Like, that's where frustration comes from. And the minute you stop wasting your time with all of that stuff and you start focusing inward, right? This is what I preach all the time, is my life didn't dramatically change until I started focusing on how do I change myself in order to get the outcomes that I want. Right? Especially in business. If you are an entrepreneur, if you're someone in business, if you're a salesperson, right? You have to know how to get what you want from the other person, but not by force, but not by creating tension and anxiety and all these kind of this negative feeling, right? You want to learn how to reciprocate, right? How to establish a relationship, how to make other people feel good, how to bring a positive, a conscious selling atmosphere, right? And it's no different when you're marketing yourself to go on a date or you're marketing yourself to sell a product. It doesn't matter, right? So going back to my point of, are you questioning yourself? When I ask you, how would you describe yourself? Are you thinking? Are you wondering? Are you questioning everything that you think you know? Well, ask yourself, have you been there before? When have you been there? Are you there right now? Because like I said, this is not society. Like everybody questions who they are because they think like there's this like baseline society guidelines that we need to measure up to. Well, am I confident? I don't know. This is a confident person by society standards. Or am I beautiful? This is a beautiful person by society standards, right? This is actually what we're doing. We're measuring ourselves against some unrealistic thing. Like our relationship compared to some movie that we saw, or our bodies compared to some athletic person we saw on a commercial, or we saw on a magazine cover, right? This is what gets us into trouble. This is not realistic. And what it really came down to for me, and what it will come down to for you if you're here right now, is that this decision's up to you. You can be that person if you choose to. It's a choice. Who you become, who you are right now, is nothing but a choice. And if you don't feel like you are those things, if you don't feel like you can step into those things, then it's time to practice being there. It's time to spend more time in that place of confidence, in that place of I can do this, in that place of empowerment, and slowly starting to take that back. And there's a lot of different ways you can do this. You know, the first thing to do is start noticing where you are holding yourself back, where you are disempowering yourself, where you are questioning who you are. That is where you want to focus first. And like I said, I do a lot of this type of coaching, so feel free to private message me if you're interested in working with me. I also do Skype as well as work out of my office in Alexandria. But this is probably more common than not, is that I question people. I ask them who they are. I mean, like if I ask you your name, you tell me like a fact, right? If you're able to communicate who you are, like it's a fact, like, yes, I'm confident. Yes, I'm this. Yes, I'm on a roll. Yes, I'm happy. That is very different than hearing, I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, I think I'm confident, right? Do you hear the difference? Yes, I'm confident, damn it, right? Versus, I'm confident. Like, do you think other people are going to take that as you're confident? No, right? Somebody you're trying to sell to, a guy or girl you're trying to talk to, right? You want to be in a place where you're grounded in who you are. You know who you are. And it's not up to that other person just to decide or tell you otherwise. That is true confidence. That is core confidence, right? Core confidence is not dependent on your body. It's not dependent on how you wake up in the morning. It's not dependent on what size dress or size pants you fit into. It is not dependent on any of those things. Core confidence is being grounded in who you are as a person, your characteristics, what you have to offer other people, what you have to offer yourself, what you can do for this world. That's what core confidence, that's what it exudes, and that's what it will bring in, and that's what it will attract. So anyway, I'm getting long-winded here. I think that whole spiel just gave me a headache. But, you know, I really want you all to start paying attention to the way you talk to yourself. And you're not doing this for me, because I find a lot of people think that I'm giving them tasks. Even clients think I'm giving them tasks and homework assignments and exercises for me. No, this is not for me. I've done the work. I've shelled out the money. I've done the work. I'm confident in who I am. My self-esteem is higher than it's ever been. If you're in this place, you're doing this for you. You're taking the time to observe yourself. You're taking the time and the money to hire professionals, to work with other people. You're taking the time to write down that type of person that you want to be, the type of people that you want to spend your time around, the type of person that you want to marry in the end. That is up to you. Happiness is up to you. That is your responsibility, nobody else's. And if you feel like you're in that place and you're ready to get to work, feel free to, like I said, private message me. I've got a whole system going here. I have I'm bringing in other specialists in fitness and in dating and relationships, and I'm excited about bringing more value to my clients as well as what I have to offer. But that being aside, no, I really want you all to listen to this message for your own good and for your own insight, and continue to work on yourself. And by working on yourself, I mean, start trying to change, start trying to grow into who you are, what feels good to you, what feels good as far as who you hang out with, where your weight should be, where you spend your time, right? This is all according to you. This is according to nobody else. And that type of person that you want to be is completely up to you. Redesign your mind to redesign your life. That's my tagline. So on that note, speaking of redesigning, I'm about to head off to the gym. So you guys have a great weekend. We'll be in touch next week. I'm doing my best to bring you guys consistent videos. It's really hard now with clients in the afternoon and a lot of meetings going on. But regardless, we will get this show up and running again. So leave your questions, comments below. I'd love to hear about your thoughts about what work you've done on yourself, what are the things that you want to do or you have planned for this year. I'm always excited to hear about other people's goals, give my input and support. And you guys have a great rest of your evening. This is Lydia from Build Yourself Inside. Good night, guys.